Good morning, friends. Good morning. Again, I welcome all of you on this live platform. Good morning, Jay. So far, our 10th syllabus is concerned. I think most of the syllabus or the entire syllabus has been covered up. Actually, right now, in these sessions, live sessions, we will cover some grammatical parts, some writing skills parts, and we will understand how to more score, specifically in writing skill also. So, again, I welcome all of you. Friends, in appreciation of the poem, we know that that question is for 5 marks. That question is for 5 marks. And obviously, questions are such as name the poem, name the poet, rhyming scheme, figure of speech, and then central idea. Though it is for 5 marks, still it can be called as a little bit hard for some students as they cannot identify properly the figures of speech. So it is important for everyone. Yes, good morning. Good morning, Mahajan. Good morning, Patil, Janvi, Mayuri. Good morning, friends. So we can see that figures of speech, I know that everyone can write easily, such as name of poet, name of poem. Even rhyming scheme can be written by students. But somewhere they have doubt to identify figures of speech. So therefore, in today's live session, we are going to understand figures of speech. Actually, so far figures of speech is concerned, or figures of speech are concerned, I must add, there are 23 to 25 figures of speech. 23 to 25 figures of speech. But we do not have these entire figures of speech throughout our textbook. So, whatever figures of speech are important or those are given in our textbook, we will understand them one by one. So, if it is possible for all of you to note down all this in your notebook, so that you can identify them easily, and even it can be a good kind of revision for all of you to identify these figures of speech. So, be ready for that. I hope those who are watching it, I would like to tell all of them, wherever it is necessary to write down in your classwork notebook, take your textbook also with you, as you can identify the lines from the poem and you can identify the figures of speech in those lines. So let us understand one by one. Now see, as I told you earlier, 23 to 25 figures of speech are there, but we have few figures of speech from unit 1st to unit 4. We have few figures of speech. Many figures of speech are repeated in poems, so that those which are repeated or those which are common, we are going to learn all of them. Okay? So be ready for that. From starting easy one, we will proceed to hard one. Okay? See the first one, that is alliteration. Alliteration. Alliteration figures of speech. Okay, good morning friends. Recently who have joined this session, I am going to tell you, if you think it is necessary, or I must say that if it is possible for you, to write down this in your classwork notebook. See there. So the first figure of speech is here, that is alliteration. Now in alliteration, we can see that when in a sentence there is repetition of the beginning word, beginning letter of the same sound, repetition of beginning letter of same sound, that is alliteration figure of speech. Okay, so friends, you can see that repetition of beginning letter, it is very important. Beginning letter. Now in the line you can see that most of the words, or at least two words, they have same letter, which occur in one line, or which those same letter come in one line. That is alliteration figure of speech. That is repetition of beginning letter which have same sound, Now as I told you, be ready with your textbook. I will give you some example from the textbook, and you can see those lines also here. See there, in our unit first 1.1, teenagers poem, that is teenagers prayer. Here in this poem you can find that, see the line, if you have textbook with you, see the line, travel down the darkened road. See, travel down the darkened road. Yes, this is a poem, a teenager's poem. Now you can see that this is the line, travel down the darkened road. Now as I told you, what comes in alliteration, that is repetition of beginning letter which have same sound, that is travel. Now in this poem the line is travel down the darkened road. So can you tell me which letter is repeated in the line? Okay, so try to write your answers on the screen. Which letter is repeated here, which has same sound? The line is here, that is travel down the darkened road. Okay, very good, nice. That is D, of course. D sound is repeated here, D letter is repeated here. Travel down the darkened road. So in this way you can find that if the line has same sounding words, or at least letter, same sounding letter which occur in initial stage or at the initial stage, you can see that is alliteration. That figure of speech is alliteration. Okay, let me erase. Now see the next one. Now we have the in 2.1, in our poem 2.1, that is basket full of moonlight. Yes, basket full of moonlight. See, this is the poem. Now you can see here in this poem, see the example, and that is, I want to sow the seeds of moon on the sides of the path. See, I want to sow the seeds of moonlight on the sides of path. So this is the line there. Yes, this is the line in 2.1, basket full of moonlight. So which letter is repeated here? Which same sounding letter is repeated here? Of course, Jain, that is good. I want to show the sheets of moonlight on the sides of path. Here, if you keenly observe, you can find that S sound is repeated here. Yes. Yes sound is repeated here. Isn't it? Very good. So, it is very important for all of you to identify such a way. To identify how or if those letter has the same sound, then you can see that or you can find that or you can confidently write there, that is alliteration figure of speech. Now we have again it is 2.1. See now I am proceeding for the another poem, and that is 2.3. Now we have 2.3, the twins. Maybe some poems are dropped in our syllabus. Still, we can see that in the 2.3, the twins poem, it puzzled our kith and kin. See, the line is here. It puzzled our kith and kin. See the word. It puzzled our kith and kin. Again, try to find out which letter is repeated here. Kith and kin. Okay? Which letter is repeated here? Of course, that is K. Right? So, again, it is very easy for all of you. Again, I repeat, what is alliteration? That is repetition of the beginning letter, which have same sound. Again, we have some poem, such as in 3.3. See there, 3.3. Our 3.3 poem is there, that is stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. It is our poem 3.3, and in this poem you can see that the woods are lovely. See the line. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. See the line. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. So here you can find, see again same sounding word. Yes, of course, that is D. So here what you have to do? You have to write down if the poem is given you for the appreciation, and in that poem if the alliteration figure of speech is there, so you can write down only alliteration figure of speech. Maybe some student, they write that line, and below to that line they write the answer that it is alliteration figure of speech, and you can even write more, that is D sound, D letter is repeated here. Again we have one poem, 4.1. That is the word is mine. In that poem you can see that I envied her. She seemed so gay. Now in this line you can find that SSS letter is repeated here, which have same sound. Okay, so it is clear to all of you that alliteration figure of speech is very easy to identify. Try to identify only same letter in one line, which occurs in one line, and if the same letters are there, of course they have same sound. And that is alliteration figure of speech. So I hope okay, I hope see there. Okay, I will try to write down here in this line from this. So it is clear for all of you how to identify alliteration figure of speech. And of course, friend, every poem we can see that alliteration figure of speech. So what is better for all of you to write down alliteration, and if you want to write there the answer of that figure of speech, you can write down that the line is also there. It is not compulsory for all of you to write down the line. you can write only such as it is alliteration figure of speech. But it would be better for all of you if you write down the line and then you can write down the figure of speech. So it is better, I hope. So let me proceed for the next one. Next one, that is our next figure of speech, and that is repetition. Repetition. See. So here, you can find that next figure of speech is there, that is repetition. So for repetition is concerned, you can find that same words are repeated. Same words are repeated. See there. How to identify repetition figure of speech? That is, same words are repeated here. In previous we understood that letter is repeated. Now here in this one, that is, words are repeated. Therefore it is repetition. See the spelling repetition. It is very also important, and repeated is different one. Repeated, repetition. Okay. So it is also important for all of you to write the proper spelling also. Some student may write that it is repetition figure of speech. That is not repetition, that is repetition. Okay. See the so far this figure of speech is concerned, I would like to tell you in 2.2, our poem 2.2, basket full of moonlight. Yes, basket full of moonlight. Now in this poem, you can see the line there. Okay, basket full of moonlight. Again, there is O moon, like that. O moon. The words are repeated in that. You can find that. Again, if you try to see there, that is the poem. You start dying slowly. The poem. You start dying slowly. In this poem, you can find that the line is quite repeated throughout the entire poem. The line is quite repeated. That is repeated throughout the entire poem. That is, you start dying slowly. At the end of each stanza, the line is repeated. The line is repeated. So here, it is important for all of you that if the words are repeated in the same line, that is repetition figure of speech. Or if the line is repeated, again that is repetition figure of speech. Now again we have poem 3.1 poem, and that is, if you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can dream. Now maybe the poem is not for our syllabus, still, if you can dream, not make dream our master. Not make dream our master. So here the dream word is repeated. Yes, dream word is repeated, and of course you can see the words are repeated, or maybe the line is repeated. That is repetition figure of speech. Again we have learned the 4.1 poem, that is the world is mine. In that poem we have learned that, oh God, forgive me. See the line, oh God, forgive me when I whine. If you understand the poem and if you read the poem, again you can find that, oh God, forgive me when I whine. The line is repeated here. The line is repeated here. And of course, if the line is repeated, if the words are repeated, that is repetition figure of speech. That is easy for all of us to identify the repetition figure of speech. So in this way, most of the poems have the first, that is alliteration figure of speech. Now some poems have this repetition figure of speech. Okay, So if the poem is given there, then you have to identify properly whether it is whether the line has alliteration, figure of speech, or whether it is repetition, figure of speech. Now let me proceed for the next one, and that is, we can say that is metaphor. See there, that is metaphor. See the metaphor. Okay. Now, what is metaphor? Here you can find that indirect object. Or sorry, one can say that indirect comparison. I would like to tell you that comparison, indirect comparison is made between the objects of different kind. Indirect comparison made between the objects of different kinds. See that. Now here you can find that there is a comparison. So what is comparison? You can find the comparison between different kinds of objects. That is or the objects which have compared with each other, and those objects are of different kind, of not same kind. Maybe there is comparison between man and human. Sorry. Human and animal. Maybe there is comparison between human and bird, or nature, trees, like that. So here you can find that comparison must be there. So what is comparison? Actually, throughout this metaphor, one point is said to be as common of these two different kinds. Suppose there is human and animal comparison, human or maybe birds comparison. So they are compared with each other, and they have one point in common. See that in our poem 1.1, a teenager's prayer. You can see that. See the line. I can choose to take the road of life. I can choose to take the road of life. See here. Now you can find that the poem or this line, in this poem, this line, road and life, these are two objects. They are not of same kind. They are of different kind. And they are compared. Road and life is compared. Way of life is also there. One can say the way is there also. That is, road is also there. So these are the two objects. Which are compared there, and they have one common point, that poet has to choose them. He has to say it. So here comparison is made. If in the line comparison is made there of two different kinds, that is metaphor, figure of speech. Now again, if you try to find out this figure of speech throughout our textbook, you can find that very few poem has such kind of figure of speech. Now let me proceed for this one. Another example, that is 2.1. You start dying slowly. This is also poem. You start dying slowly. So this is also poem. Maybe the poem is not for our syllabus. Still, you can find in this poem that if you do not listen the sound of life, the line is there. If you do not listen the sound of life. Now see there, that is life and sound which are different kinds, or life and sounds are different one, and they are compared here. So comparison is made between them. Here one can say that the sound and life. Now one point is common. If you want to talk about one, which point is common there, that is life has itself a sound. Life has its own sound. One can say that life has its own sound. So here different two kinds of objects are compared like that, and here you can find that metaphor, figure of speech is there. So only 2 poems. These 2 poems are metaphor, figure of speech in our syllabus. Okay. So here, of course, I hope you have understood at least first alliteration, second repetition, and third metaphor. So you can find that it is very easy for all of us to find out or to identify alliteration, to identify repetition, and though it may be sounding hard one, but it is also easy one. So it is also important for all of us that to identify 2 different objects and which point is given common there. If you identify them properly, then it is metaphor, figure of speech. It is metaphor, figure of speech. So I hope all of you have understood this. Now let me proceed. That is another figure of speech, and that is called apostrophe. See there, apostrophe. Yes, that is apostrophe. Now what is apostrophe? Here you can see that direct address to dead or absent person or God. See there. What is apostrophe? There is a direct address. There is direct address to the dead or absent person, or maybe one can say, or maybe God. Dead object, one can say that, or absent person or God. So it is very easy for all of us to identify. Now see the example here. In first, a teenager's prayer. Now in this poem, you can find that there is a line that is, please open up my eyes, dear Lord. See the line. Please open up my eyes, dear Lord. Now here in this line, you can see there is a direct address to Lord, means God. So God is not there nearby. So therefore, here you can find that direct address is given there, and that direct address, God is directly addressed there. Therefore, the line is for apostrophe figure of speech. Now again, in 4.1 poem, 4.1, the world is mine. We have recently understood this poem. The world is mine. In this poem, you can see the line that is, oh God, forgive me when I whine. See there. Oh God, forgive me when I whine. Now, you can find that here God is directly addressed. So again, the person or the object which is not near us, if that is directly addressed, that is apostrophe figure of speech. And of course, it is also very easy one for all of us to identify. Okay, I hope friends you have understood this one, and if it's possible for all of you to write down in your notebook also, so that you can easily identify figure of speech. Whatever figures of speech are remain right now, we will continue those in our next session. Till then, goodbye.